society today is very focused on us as individuals, like how will this affect me, how will this affect my family, but really we need to be looking at the bigger picture. How will this affect our world, and how is it already affecting other people that I don't know?
Climate anxiety, it's real. Plenty of us feel it, but what can we do about it? I'm Evie Kenny, and this is Ecolution, our YouTube spin-off of RTÉ Junior's podcast about all things environment. And today we're putting our climate change worries in the picture to ask a panel of young environmentalists how they cope with climate anxiety. Here to answer our questions are David, Dana, Mara and Arjun. Thanks so much for being here, anxious or not. So, let's kick off today's discussion. David, do you worry about the future? And if so, what do you worry about?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people do worry about the future, especially, like, not even in terms of the environment, but like just in terms of like our economy as well, and just in terms of global tensions. But into the environment specifically, I'd say I do worry a lot, especially to do with like rising sea levels and also, say, animal destruction and just the amount, like, we owe so much to our planet. And we, as a species, are like single-handedly destroying it. And that's scary to think about. And that's probably what I worry about the most, just the fact that there might not be a planet here for us in the future.
Yeah. Mara, what are your concerns about our planet several years down the line?
Yeah, one of my main concerns would be animal extinction. And I love animals so much. And yeah, it's terrible to see dwindling numbers and people like poaching still in countries, but it's like they're suffering as well. It's very difficult, it's just a very difficult situation. And yeah, it's hard sometimes, especially when you're not around like-minded people, like people here today. People don't seem very worried about it. I'm like, oh, no, we should be worrying. So yeah, it's very real.
Yeah. And Arjun, are you a worrier? Do you spend much time thinking about what's to come?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. For example, I really worry to think about what would happen in the next 10 years rather than what would happen in the next 100 years. With all the new forms of technologies such as data centers, AI, the world has become so unpredictable. We could wake up tomorrow just to see our dream profession being taken away. So I feel like such unpredictable technologies would create both opportunities to prevent climate change as well as would be a cause for the climate change as well. But I feel like in the coming years, we just need to find a right balance between the two, making sure that we are not, the pace that the climate change is happening is not increased by this technology, but rather stays equal, if not goes below.
Yeah, and what about you, Dana? Any worries in particular for our future?
I would say I'm particularly worried about biodiversity loss, especially animal extinction, like Mara said, and just the natural habitats that have been on our Earth nearly since it was created, since the Earth was actually formed, just being destroyed, and it's all because of humans and what we've done to the Earth. And I'm also particularly concerned about climate refugees, as weather phenomena have become so much worse because of the climate crisis, and so many people are currently being put in danger and will continue to be put in danger because of that.
Yeah, so we've established that we have worries, but what can we do about them? Mara, what are the main changes that you think we need to see to make our world a better and fairer place?
First of all, as Dana said earlier, climate refugees are not recognised under international law. So that definitely needs to be addressed, as we see so many refugees. And it's very important for those to have status and to be recognised that they've come from a place of suffering. It might not be war, but, natural disasters are very worrying and becoming more frequent. And so I think we definitely need to address that, and definitely addressing just like the way we live our lives mainly, and just we're all in this together. So I think we need to work really hard in the next 10 years, basically. Yeah,
a lot to do.
A lot to do.
Arjun, what are your recommendations for a fairer planet?
Being part of a community. I feel like when we all see there are other people who are are also moving towards a greener future and who are also have the same interest, the same passion as you in advocacy kind of skills. I believe that helps a lot as you feel the warmth of being part of the entire community. You feel that you're unified, and that just encourages you to keep on moving forward and tries to absorb a bit of worriness together, because you try to share them with all of your friends who are in the same road as you, and that um, tries to balance it all out.
Yeah, and Dana, how can we be better?
I think as a society, we all really need to sort of shift our focus onto the environmental issues and even human rights issues that are harming our world today. And yeah, for the majority of the population, there needs to be just a huge shift in mindset. Because I feel like a lot of society today is very focused on us as individuals, like how will this affect me? How will this affect my family? But really, we need to be looking at the bigger picture. How will this affect our world, and how is it already affecting other people that I don't know?
Yeah, and David, how do you think we can make the world a better place?
I think first of all, maybe less thinking of like negatively and in the past, and more thinking of the future and what we can do to help. I also think as well as just kind of like almost as like in a way as like an ideology, I suppose, like in terms of like climate activism, it's been given a bit of a bad name thanks to like certain groups such as Just Stop Oil, and I think people need to realize that they aren't what every climate activist thinks. Like most of them aren't as radical in terms they want to destroy a piece of art with soup. And we also need to be thinking, again, as well as on a, like, not even just about ourselves, just even on a local scale, what can I do to help my town or my village or my city be a bit more green?
Thank you all so much for that. So it seems that a day doesn't go by without more bad news. But a lot of people like to sell the idea that we can continue with business as usual and that there'll be a technological solution just around the corner. But we already have about 90% of the tools that we need to fight this if we embrace positive change. So, what do you think? Should we adapt to more sustainable or just hope for better technology in the future? Dana, what are your thoughts?
I think we definitely need to focus on the present, and we need to start making changes now, because people are already being affected by the climate crisis, and it's important that we start as early as we can to try to combat that.
Yeah, and David, are we advanced enough to start solving our problems, or should we put the faith in technological solutions?
Oh no, absolutely. I think we are. I think it's a foolish thought to just assume and hope that there will be just some wonder cure to magically fix the environment. Work has to be put in, and there has to be sacrifices. And I think it's time people realise that maybe as well, it's not also the wisest idea to put trust into the companies that are very much often actually contributing most to damaging the environment, because things are going well for them, and companies generally do care more about profits than about the environment.
Yeah, and Mara, how does it make you feel when people don't see the point of taking action?
Oh, it's infuriating. Like, the thing is, like, no one's coming to save us. It's literally us. Like, we have caused most of this. There's so many innocent animals just sort of wondering why their ecosystem is collapsing in front of them. We've burnt the fires. We've done it all. So we gotta, give back. And as far as technology goes, I think like 60% of technology that already existing for renewable energies, like they can help with reducing emissions, and the rest is yet to be found. But I think just a massive investment is needed in what we already have. Like, I know there's been plans for, I think it's been approved 2024, was wind farms off the coast, and I'll be really excited to see them because I think they can just generate so much electricity for the country. And there's worrying things as well about data centres and how they're used now more and more frequently in people, and people don't realise the emissions. So yeah, just really policies and developing what we have and working together and just really we just got to figure it out, So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And Arjun, you are somebody that came up with a tech solution for plant growth. Could you tell us a little bit about it and why you think it could help in the future?
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to say that you cannot clean something without making something else dirty. And I believe the same goes with technology as far as the climate change is concerned. The population is rising and has grown tremendously over the past few years, and technology itself has to do a lot with it because technology was able to sustain the entire 8 billion people. During the 1950s, and at least when my father was younger, there were over 2 billion people on the earth. And from now, which has been relatively really less years, the population has grown drastically. So I feel like sustainable technology in this world is highly important to make, which would make significant changes to keep moving forward. However, this entire attitude of that technology, someone else would create an innovation that would solve these problems is pretty foolish, I would say, because if we want to make any changes, we have to be that change. We have to be that innovator, and we have to make sure that that change is possible in this world. So yeah, about my app, I made that app back in 2020 when I realized that how important clean air is in our lives, especially during the time of lockdown, which was a wake-up call for entire humanity. And that app, I was highly grateful, got recognized by MIT, which uh, empowered me to keep moving forward and using my innovations to help the environment while I can.
Incredible. Thank you so much. So we've talked a lot about our worries today, but let's end this on a positive note. This is a question from some listeners.
Hi, I'm Eleanor. And I'm Neela. And we're from Taney Parish Primary School. We have one question to ask you. What makes you feel better when you are anxious? Do you have any top tips?
Let's start with Arjun.
Thinking about that, I'm not alone in this, and there are friends who are also working towards the same and have the same passion, the same courage to make changes. Hearing other youth voices who also are advocating towards a global climate change, and also looking over more ways on how I could help the community and the entire climate change definitely helps.
Yeah, and Dana, what are your top tips for battling anxiety?
My top tips for battling anxiety, specifically climate anxiety, would be just like Arjun said, remembering that you're not alone in this, and just thinking about all the people that you know who are sort of into climate, and just reminding yourself that you're not alone. But also for me, what really helps is sort of taking action. Sometimes even just thinking about like all the different things that we've been involved in, and just reminding yourself that you and other people in this world are making an effort to make the world better.
Yeah, and David, what makes you feel better when you're worried?
I talked about people. I'd know a fair few amount of people who would probably say that they care for the environment a lot as well. So I'd both talk to them, and I'd also think as well that, like, yes, while the news is generally mostly negative, because the news does generally strive off of, well, negativity in general in terms of, like, it catches people's attention. There has been a lot of positive change though as well. Like, for example, like wind turbines and, say, solar energy as well, those have been built actually up a lot everywhere as well. And while obviously it is not enough to completely replace fossil fuels, at least work is being done. It's not like we aren't doing anything at all. We're not doing enough, but we are doing something.
Yeah, and Mara, what brings you back up when worry gets you down?
Yeah, it's very real for young people, and it's hard. Maybe if, I don't know, maybe some older generations of people mightn't really, they mightn't really care. They mightn't think this is just some new. It's annoying. Sometimes people think it's like your thing, or it's like a hobby, and I'm like, no, it's a real problem we're all trying to work towards. But for me, I think spending time in nature is really helpful for me, because even if you're worried about it, just to ground yourself, enjoy what we have, and go out and touch grass and just enjoy, and the weather, and just really just taking some deep breaths and circling back and get going again to do whatever action that you can.
Go hug a tree. Honestly. So, well, there you have it. Climate anxiety unpacked by our Ecolution panel. Thank you, Mara, David, Dana and Arjun for all of your thoughts, tips, and tricks when it comes to worries about our world. The main thing to remember is that you are not alone. 89% of the world accepts the realities of the climate crisis, and the more we share our worries, the easier it will be to share the load. Head over to your podcast platform of choice to hear more from Ecolution. We have tons of episodes on all kinds of climate-related issues, and check out our other panel videos right here on YouTube. Send us your thoughts and comments via email. We are junior@rte.ie. I'm Evie Kenny. See you next time.
Ecolution.